Hey everyone! Before I dive into my story, please hit that subscribe button to join my channel and support more content like this. Now, let's get into it. I'm Emily, 32 years old, and I was viciously attacked by my brother's fiancé in my own kitchen while he stood there doing nothing. Before I share how I used my signature to block their dream home mortgage and expose their actions in court, drop a comment below and tell me where you're watching from. The first thing that hit me was the cold. My cheek pressed against the icy kitchen tiles, a metallic tang of blood flooding my mouth. A deep, pulsing pain throbbed in my ribs, each breath a careful, agonizing effort. I blinked, trying to shake the fog from my eyes, and saw him, my brother, James. He wasn't looking at me. His gaze was fixed on the front door, his face twisted with irritation, as if my broken body on the floor was just a minor hassle. He stepped over my legs, his polished shoes avoiding my jeans, and left my apartment without a single word. My phone, knocked to the floor in the chaos, vibrated beside me. The screen glowed with a text from James, for words that shattered my heart. Keep away from us. Tears of betrayal stung my eyes, the pain sharper than the cut on my lip. I lay there, the chill of the tiles sinking into me, the apartment's silence suffocating. Then something shifted. The hurt didn't fade, but it hardened into something sharp and certain: resolve. My trembling fingers steadied. I grabbed my phone, moving slowly, deliberately. I typed one word, cold as steel, finished. I pressed send. The silence that followed was deafening. To them, it meant their unwanted sister would vanish. To me, it was a vow. The Emily they knew, the one who always forgave, who cleaned up their messes, was gone for good. To grasp why this betrayal cut so deep, you need to know my family. It was always the James show. I was the steady one, with a solid career and a bigger paycheck, but those were just details, background noise. James was the star. I remember a Christmas dinner years ago when he bragged about a small raise at his entry-level job. My mom glowed, toasting to my son's empire like he'd conquered the world. The family cheered. Later, I mentioned I'd landed a massive project at work, a major promotion with a big salary bump and stock options. My mom just patted my hand, her eyes already searching for James. "That's nice, honey," she said absently. "But don't overwork yourself. You'll scare off potential husbands. A woman's true value is her family." James sat there, basking in the praise, silent as always. It was the same after our grandfather's funeral. His modest inheritance went to James for a flashy car he didn't need, while I was told I was fine on my own. I wasn't a daughter to invest in. I was the family's fallback, a resource to tap when convenient. As teens, James once borrowed our dad's vintage watch and lost it at a party. When Dad found out, James blamed me. Foolishly, I took the blame, working a grueling part-time job for months to replace it, just to keep the peace. That was my role. The fixer, the peacemaker, the unseen pillar holding everyone up. Then came Lisa, James's fiancée. When he brought her home, she seemed shy, a bit lost, with big eyes and a heartbreaking story about her tough past. I related to her, saw someone else struggling to find her place. When she couldn't find a job or a place to live, I stepped in. I didn't just co-sign her apartment lease. I spent hours refining her resume and covered her deposit and first month's rent, no strings attached, telling her to repay me when she could. She cried, calling me the sister she never had. I defended her when friends warned she seemed manipulative, too skilled at playing the victim. "She just needs a chance," I'd said. "She's family now." I wanted to believe James had chosen someone who'd strengthen our family, not just take from it. Lying on that kitchen floor, the memory of my own generosity burned like poison. I pushed myself up, each movement sparking fresh pain. My reflection in the oven's dark glass showed a stranger, face swollen, bruised. I called the one person I knew would trust me without question. My childhood best friend, Rachel. "Em, what's wrong?" "You sound terrible," she said as I choked out the story between sobs. It started over something trivial, wedding plans. Lisa's sudden fury, her eyes dark with rage, the shove that sent me crashing into the counter, the punch that split my lip. And worst of all, James's cold detachment, standing by the fridge, sipping a beer. Rachel didn't waver. No, are you sure? Or maybe you misread it. Her voice matched my anger. I'm coming over. Don't move. Don't touch anything. And you're calling the police. Emily. This isn't a family fight, it's a crime. Her unwavering support held me together. She was right. This wasn't a spat. It was assault. James's text wasn't just asking for distance. It was him abandoning his role as my brother. They'd drawn their line. Now it was my turn. The next morning, my body ached, a massive bruise spreading across my ribs like a dark, painful constellation. My lip was grotesquely swollen, but my mind was calm, razor sharp. I sat at my desk, ignoring the pain, and opened my laptop. I logged into my bank's secure portal. There it was, the $750,000 mortgage for their dream home, the one with the grand columns and sprawling porch. They only got it because of my stellar credit, clean financial record, and hefty salary, propping up a couple with shaky jobs and piles of debt. I was the guarantor, the cornerstone of their fantasy. Canceling it wasn't simple. It required deliberate steps to prevent rash choices. A pop-up warned, "Are you sure? This may have serious legal and financial consequences." I clicked yes. I navigated two-factor authentication, a code sent to my phone, and answered security questions about my first pet and my mom's maiden name, a bitter twist. Finally, I signed a document warning that withdrawing my guarantee would likely kill the loan. I read every word, then signed with a steady hand, a small digital mark that shattered their perfect world. I spent the day methodically documenting everything. At an urgent care clinic, a doctor detailed my injuries, a cut inside my lip, heavy bruising on my ribs from blunt force. I took clear photos of my battered face and ribs. The pain fueled my resolve. The next afternoon, James called, his voice a panicked whine I'd never heard. "Emily, what did you do?" "The bank called, the loan's dead." "You pulled out." I let his panic hang in the air, then spoke coldly. "I did what you wanted, James. I'm staying away, my name, my credit, my money." I hung up before he could reply. That night, my door shook with their pounding, not a knock, an attack. Through the peephole, I saw their furious, desperate faces. "Emily, open this door." Lisa screamed, her voice piercing. "You're destroying everything. Our house, our future, our wedding." James tried a softer plea. "Em, please, we can fix this. Think of Mom and Dad. Think of us." I watched through the glass, their desperation leaving me hollow. They weren't sorry for their actions, only for the consequences. I blocked their numbers, disabled my doorbell, and opened a folder on my laptop. Court evidence. I saved my injury photos first. The next few days were brutal. The physical pain eased, but the emotional attacks intensified. My mom called, her voice thick with disappointment, not for me, but for what I'd done. "James told me everything," she started, no concern for my injuries. "How could you be so selfish, Emily? You're ruining your brother's happiness over a petty fight." I gasped. "Mom, she assaulted me. She punched me." James watched. She scoffed. "Don't be dramatic. Lisa's stressed with the wedding and house. You probably provoked her with your opinions, your career. You make people uneasy." Her words hit like a slap. I was the problem, too independent, too successful. "I have to go," I said flatly, hanging up. The dam broke. I collapsed in my hallway, sobbing for the family I wished for, the mother who'd never defend me, the little girl inside still craving her love. Rachel found me, holding my hand until the tears stopped. Then my Aunt Clara called, her voice dripping with fake concern. "Your mom told me everything. I'm so disappointed. James might lose the house. Think of the family." That's when it clicked. This wasn't just James and Lisa. It was a system built on my silence, my sacrifice. I was done being their foundation. Then came the final blow, a certified letter, a restraining order from Lisa. It was a lie, portraying me as an obsessed, unstable sister-in-law who'd harassed her for months and attacked her. They were rewriting the story to make me the villain. Despair hit, but then I saw my court evidence folder. A grim smile formed. "Thank you," I thought. "You gave me a platform." I called a lawyer Rachel recommended, a fierce woman specializing in domestic disputes. In court, the air was heavy. I sat with Rachel and my lawyer, Ms. Carter, while Lisa, James, and my mom sat across, a trio of feigned victimhood. Lisa dabbed dry eyes. My mom glared venomously. James avoided my gaze. Their lawyer painted me as a jealous, erratic woman sabotaging her brother's joy, twisting my success into a sign of instability. James took the stand, playing the pitiful victim, claiming I'd always been volatile, demanding wedding changes, and he'd had to shield his fragile fiancée. His crocodile tears were Oscar-worthy. Then Miss Carter stood. Your Honor, my client won't discuss feelings or drama. She'll present facts. We showed the photos of my bruised face and ribs, projected for all to see. The gallery gasped. The judge's face hardened. Next, the medical report, read aloud, detailing injuries from blunt force. Then, the final blow. We present security footage from my client's apartment hallway, time-stamped that night. The silent video was damning, Lisa screaming, shoving me inside, me stumbling out of view, James standing annoyed before walking away. The courtroom went silent. Lisa's face paled. James gaped like a fish. My mom covered her mouth, horrified, not for me, but for their collapsing lie. The judge's gavel slammed. Restraining order denied, she said icily, staring at Lisa. Filing false reports and perjury are serious crimes, as is assault. You're lucky Miss Taylor isn't pressing charges. Court adjourned. The truth had prevailed. Outside, Rachel hugged me, her voice thick. You did it. My mom approached, stammering. Emily, I didn't know. I gave her a blank stare and walked past with Rachel. James blocked me in the hallway, pale and pleading. I'm sorry. Lisa gets wild sometimes. I didn't know what to do. I met his eyes, seeing not my brother, but a coward hiding behind a woman's violence. You stepped over me, I said, my voice steady. You're not my brother. You're her shield. We're strangers now. I walked away, leaving him alone in the courthouse hall. That was the last time we spoke. The next year was about rebuilding. There were nightmares, days when loneliness crushed me. But for every dark day, there was light. I dove into work not to hide, but to celebrate my strength, leading my team to a record-breaking quarter and earning a historic promotion to vice president. I started pottery classes on Tuesdays, something my family once mocked as pointless. Shaping clay into something beautiful healed me, mirroring how I was reshaping my life. My chosen family, Rachel, my friends who saw through Lisa, surrounded me with love. One night, I hosted a dinner party, my apartment alive with laughter and warmth, the family I'd built. Months later, a letter arrived in James's handwriting. I felt nothing, no anger, no curiosity. I opened it for closure. It was predictable. A self-pitying apology, their breakup, his counseling, his plea for his sister back. I realized I no longer needed his approval. My peace was mine. Forgiveness isn't instant. It's a bridge built slowly, and I had no desire to rebuild one to pain. I tore the letter into pieces and tossed it into recycling. Now, a year later, I stand on my balcony, the sun warm on my skin, watering a stubborn cactus I bought after court. It was once a spiky lump, but today a vibrant pink flower bloomed at its tip. I used to think strength meant no scars. Now I know it's what grows from them. I survived not just the attack, but the deeper wound of family betrayal. The most vital home is the one you build within yourself. I breathed in the morning air, feeling free. The door behind me stood open, ready for what's next. Thanks for hearing my story. It was tough to share, but I hope it resonates with someone feeling stuck or invisible. Have you ever had to cut a toxic family member out of your life? Share your story in the comments. If this moved you, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel.